What's going on, everyone? It's RZ over here at Bukugames, and here I am with yet another devlog on Cursed Kingdom, our newest game. Today, I'm going to talk about what makes the characters that we're playing as unique. We already told you that we have 4 different classes in the game, but what exactly makes each of these classes stand out from one another? Well, that's where the ability and elite ability system comes in, specifically the special ability and elite ability system. I'm going to talk more about it, but I think it's better to show than to talk, so let's get into Unity and I will begin explaining all about abilities in Cursed Kingdom. Alright guys, so I have a little example situation here in Unity set up. As you can see, we are playing as the Magician class, and the Magician, he's not exactly known for his raw strength, if you would say. Essentially, the Magician is more about trying to be a little more sneaky in terms of how he damages or potentially protects himself from damage when it comes to his opponents. So he likes to use multiple support cards. Now you might be saying, well, how are you supposed to do that? Because I've explained in a previous devlog, you can only use 1 support card per turn. Special ability is essentially an ability that makes the characters unique to one another. The Magician's goes about his wants to be a little more sneaky and learn more about the mastery of the arts and whatnot. The one thing you need to understand when it comes to special abilities is that they will put you in a state known as cooldown, which we'll talk about in a second. But normally, if I'm the Magician and I have lost 1 health already and I use my red potion, I can recover a health, but if I try to use the stamina booster, the support card here, it'll say I've already used a support card this turn. However, I can activate my special ability, and just so you guys are aware, there are plenty of graphical changes coming, so many things will be polished as we go down the line here. But if I use my special ability, I am able to now also use the stamina booster on the same turn, and now all the cards in my hand have been boosted up. So that is a really cool thing that you can do with the Magician, and as you can see now on the Magician's UI, he is now on cooldown. Now we're going to go check out another example. Alright guys, so I'm over here with the Thief character, and the Thief is all about getting around quick and moving at a fast pace. They don't want to stay in one spot at any given point. They want to always be moving, make sure their opponents never know where they're at. So what the Thief has for their special ability is actually kind of the opposite of the Magician. They're able to use 2 movement cards to move a turn. Normally you're only allowed to move once, and as you can see here, I think I may have gone over this in a past devlog, but I know for a fact that I haven't shown off the ability, so here we go. We're going to activate the Thief special ability. You can see he is now on cooldown, and now I can select the multiple cards to use. The actual quality of life map updater there will tell you exactly where you will land. Now, in this case, both of those are 7 and 6, but if I do a 6 and 6, it will actually show me here, and it tells me how many selected cards that I have available to use that I have used. So if I use both of these and I click use, you'll see that this Thief guy will now go and land on the supply space. And as you can see there, the Thief got around the board pretty quickly. But as you'll notice, I'm back at the Magician's turn here, and one of the detriments you're going to have here is you're losing more resources when you use special abilities. So there is a sort of cost and effect, reaction and action type thing going on there. So you got to be careful about your resources and what you're using. For the Thief, they've lost more movement card resources, which will be a problem later down the road when we go into the duel system later on in the game. But I wanted to show you that cooldown on the turn that you have used your... Well, let's explain what cooldown is pretty much. Cooldown is essentially what happens after you use a special ability, or in certain circumstances you will go into cooldown state because of other means in the game mechanics. Cooldown essentially means you cannot use your special ability. I'm locked away from using it on the right side there. It is not there anymore. And I should also note that some special abilities are passive. They activate on their own. You don't have to actually manually activate them, and they will activate when the time is right, or give you a prompt to activate them when the time is right. Now, that being said, cooldown essentially locks you out from using your special ability, and in some cases locks you out from doing other things, but those are specific cases. In the case of the Magician here, I will exit cooldown once his turn has ended. So as you can see here, I'm going to land on the private study. I'm going to get my effect going there for the space, And as you can see on the Magician's UI, his ability is now active. So you got to pay attention because, as I said, some abilities are passive. They may activate after a card has been used or after potentially a duel has been completed. And if that's the case, you got to make sure that character didn't exit cooldown after their last turn finished and you're going to attack them thinking they're still on cooldown when they're really not. Okay guys, so let's go into what elite abilities are. Once you have leveled up in the game, which we will go over later down the road, to your maximum potential, you'll unlock what is known as an elite ability. Elite abilities do not leave you in cooldown ever, and they are something that you may have to pay a cost to use, but at least in the current version of the game, they are able to be used as long as you have the resources to spare. Now this may change down the line, we're still talking about balancing and whatnot, but for now, let's take a look at one of the awesome elite abilities, which is the Warrior. The Warrior here is able to look around him and see, okay, I got people anywhere between 0 and 3 spaces between him. So yeah, anywhere between 0 and 3 spaces between him, he can use his elite ability. And as you can see over here, we have everyone's perfectly aligned for this. He's going to use his elite ability and he's going to deal some heavy damage to everyone. And the only thing that he has to do to use his elite ability is discard a movement card. A pretty small cost when you really think about it. If you take a look at everyone's UI over here, bam, they all just lost 2 health. That is a pretty big AoE attack that the Warrior is allowed to do when he gets his elite ability. However, as I stated earlier, you have to get to level 5, and to get to level 5, it is not an easy task. This will be very late game. People will have a lot more power and other cards to try and stop you from being able to do this multiple times. So this is an example of an active elite ability. Let's take a look at a more passive elite ability next. Here I am with the Magician. He's about to cross the Mage Start to level up here. And once he does, he'll become level 5 and will not be able to be afflicted by poison or curse. That is his elite ability. The Magician class is unable to be afflicted by status effects. Pretty awesome. So as you can see here, I'm going to go and I'm now level 5 as his UI has updated. I'm going to go over here to the Poison Gas Leak. It's going to attempt to poison me, but as you can see here, my UI will not change. I also have a support card that can prevent me, but I don't need to use that because I'm immune to poison. We have a nice little animation there as well. It's pretty cool. So yeah, as you can see, the Magician's turn is ended and he's cool. He blocked the poison because he's awesome, and that's pretty much where we're at right now as an elite ability. Pretty cool. And that's pretty much the gist of what abilities are all about in Cursed Kingdom. It gives every class a little quirk to themselves that they can use to kind of alter the way that you play the game. In general, you're going to be playing the game to try and take out the rest of your opponents, but those abilities, both special and elite abilities, will be able to both help you and hinder your opponents. Now, that being said, you got to be careful with those special abilities specifically. You're going to waste resources and you're going to become stuck in your cooldown state. You don't want that to happen, because if it does and your opponent gets the drop on you, then you don't have your ability to help you out while they may. Same with the elite abilities, at least in the current state. If you use up too much of your resources and you don't finish the job, your opponents might capitalize on that. So you got to be careful and make sure that you're using your abilities, well, to the best of your ability. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But with that being said, I'm going to end this devlog, and I hope that you guys learned a lot more about Cursed Kingdom. If you have any questions or feedback to the ability system and in the way that we have it right now, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you want to have a topic for the next devlog and just have an idea, let us know. It could be about anything. So with that being said, I'm going to end this devlog, and I will catch you guys next time. This has been RZ over here at Bukugames. And remember guys, if it's not fun, it's not worth it. I'll see you guys in the next one.